Let's see here. So let me go ahead. Wanted to try to bring in my new little puppy is a Bordoodle here. Hey, still trying to get them all named and everything. So at least you get to introduce see my new puppy here. I'm thinking about trying to name him something based on my call sign, but hey y'all, he's barely been with us 24 hours, so he's getting used to the family and everything. Let's go ahead. I want to curl up by my feet like he's been doing lately, and let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in the market. So let's go ahead and go through some things here because I had promised you some things I was going to cover this week. And let's go ahead and get to it. So, first of all, I said I was going to just briefly cover market stats this week and then get into the whole thing about going through the whole buying process. So, let's go through the stats this week. So, this week, ending yesterday, we had 339 condos available, 7 closings on Friday, and 11 went under contract, and we had 5 come onto the market. Single family homes, we had 2,586 with 67 closings and 56 go under contract with 50. I should be sharing this with you. Hold on here. There we go. Oh no, look at these, look what he's doing. He's just like, oh, he's biting me. Single families, we got 2586 on the market, 67 closings yesterday, 56 went under contract, and 59 just came on the market. Townhomes, we got 212, 5 closings, and 3 under contract, and 9 just listed available. For the total market, we have 3137 with 79 closings and 70 under contract and 73 just listed. So that all important number of the homes that are 400,000 and less, we're looking at 19 came under just listed on Friday, and for the total for the entire market of single family homes, we have 698. Now, this is really important because if you start to look at what's going on in the market right now, the first time buyer market is between about 375 and 400,000. So for the entire Southern Nevada area right now, we have a little under 700 homes that most first time buyers can get in with the median income. So now, unfortunately, the median price has gone up again, and we are looking at 407. So that still is a little bit of good news because it's only gone up $2,000 from last month. So it was 405 last month, and it's only 2,000 more than it was last month. So that's a good thing. So it wasn't like $10,000 a month like it has been month over month. So at least we've had a bit of a slowdown. So that is really good. Uh, we are still holding steady right now with 31% of sales are non-owner occupied, which are all of those investors coming in. and that is still holding steady. So it's not as good, not a good thing for the local market. Hopefully that will get better soon, but I don't really see it. Now, this is really interesting. Let's go back to about a year ago. Here, bring that up. If you look a year ago, look at the difference of what we had available. Condos, 1,034. Single family homes, 4,959. Townhomes, 609. 6,603 available this day, exactly 1 year ago, compared to 3,137 today. That is a difference of 1 year. So you can see where the market is. We really need a lot of homes to come on the market right now. So things are really not that great. We still have 130 people per day moving in Las Vegas, and that is not the greatest thing with the housing shortage. Hopefully, we get some homes built, or we get some kind of a slowdown in the market. The only thing that's keeping things moving right now really is the low interest rates helping some folks out. If it wasn't for these low interest rates, we would really be in a lot of problems right now because prices just keep going up. Hopefully, there's going to be a slowdown really soon because we are really getting out there for the scratching the carpet. Hopefully, he doesn't do any damage down there. I've got to cut his nails uh, because a lot of people are being priced out right now. So let's go ahead and talk about what I promised I was going to talk about next week. I want to start getting into this a little bit more every week. Help you out, timely information. So I want to talk about the steps to purchasing a home. So it's after we finish that, and hopefully somebody's going to ask some questions. We see if anyone's asked a question. No questions yet. So let's go ahead and talk about the steps uh, purchasing a home. Look at that. The camera's focused someplace else. Okay, come on, back on me. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I kind of wrote these down. I'm thinking, making some thoughts to myself. So I'm going to go through first the steps that you really need to think about, go through them quickly. And then I'm going to talk about like you've actually got a home. Where do you go from there? So these are like the steps to really think about when you're getting into a home. So first things first, everybody likes to skip this step, and it's the step where you really need to. Oh my goodness, what's in your mouth, son? It's nothing. Gotta watch him every minute. It's my first time I've had a puppy. First thing, you got to find a lender. Everyone loves skipping this step. They want to just go straight to finding a house and going like, I'll look for a lender later. No, do not pass. Go straight to that lender. A lot of people think their credit is okay, even if they say like, "Hey, I've done everything right." A lot of times, you don't know what you don't know. You have got to get your credit looked at before you look at going out there and looking at a home. I've seen this too many times, and the more a person seems to insist their credit looks great, there is some little thing out there that need to look at. So it's almost like deja vu. Every time they go, "Oh, my credit's great," there is something that is there that they did not know about. So that's the first thing you got to do. Uh, then people who say, "Hey, I know there's something wrong with my credit. I want to go ahead and get it fixed. Then I'll go to a lender." Wrong idea. I've seen this one too many times. People fix things in the wrong order, and it takes them longer to get things done. I've talked about this before, where I've seen people do the wrong things, and actually hurts their credit. Sometimes things that are counterintuitive may actually help their credit. And I've actually seen an issue within the last few months where a person had a dispute on their credit, where removing the dispute from their credit actually got them into a loan. Strange as it is, that actually happened. Then it's like, I mean, the person just kept arguing and arguing. But removing that got them into the loan, and then they put the dispute back on there. So you really need to do that. It's kind of like some people go like, I want to work out and get in shape before I go to the gym. No, go to the gym even if you're fat. Yeah, I'm fat. Go to the gym. uh, you also can see what programs are available. You don't know what's out there that you may qualify for at the moment that may help you out. So you may be saving money, or you may get a shortcut. So go ahead and go to that lender and see what's out there. And also, you can determine what financing is available for you because maybe there's a better way. Sometimes you may not think, maybe there is a program out there you may think you have to go FHA. There may be a conventional product for you. So always go to the lender first. And that's coming from the realtor. Second thing, it may seem obvious, and I know it's coming from a realtor. Go find yourself a realtor. So this is more than just talking about Nevada. This is talking about the nation as a whole. Go to that realtor next. And some people try to convince you not to use a realtor. Only about two will. That's going to be a new home builder or somebody who's trying to sell their home themselves. The new home builder, they're doing that because they don't want to pay the commission out. They're not going to pass those savings on to you. And the realtor is someone who is going to help you out with looking out for your best interest. Someone trying to sell their home themselves, they're not saying don't use a realtor and I'm going to pass those savings on to you. They're planning to keep those funds themselves. And sometimes they're saying, let's not use a realtor because they're planning to screw you over. Have you seen that case in California where the people didn't use the realtor and the seller stayed in the house? Yeah, things happen, strange things. Next, when searching for your home, educate yourself about the current market. When I say educate yourself, I mean really educate yourself. Don't just go out there just by what your friends are saying, because sometimes they don't know what's going on, or they're basing it on when they purchase their homes, or when they're in Michigan and you're in California, and they're just talking about what's going on in Michigan. It doesn't matter what's going on in Michigan. Yes, real estate is nationwide, but it's also very local. You need to know where the market is headed. Uh, you also need to know what people are currently paying. I know we want to pay what we're going to pay, and we're going to cross our arms and say, I'm not going to pay this amount for something. If everyone else is paying X or doing something, guess what? The sellers are expecting that. So if you're going to go, I'm not going to pay over appraisal, but the current market is everyone's paying over appraisal. The sellers are expecting that and they will hold out for the next person. You can hold out and not pay over appraisal. And I've seen that happen. Yes, but don't expect to just walk into a house and do that. So you're going to have to actually put in more work. So it can be done, but you have to put in the work for it. You have to find out if people are paying closing costs or not. If the market's not bearing that, then it's possibly not going to happen, or probably not going to happen. Are sellers currently accepting VA and FHA financing? In some markets, they're not. I know an agent in Florida when she's always talking about her little FHA buyer because that buyer's having a hard time because none of the sellers are accepting FHA. The person is just trying and trying and trying. You have to see what the market is doing. And like we talked about, that 31% of buyers last week were purchasing the homes here in the Las Vegas area. What are the investors doing? What are they paying? If investors are paying full prices for homes, don't expect you're going to get a discount if all the cash buyers are paying full price, especially if you're using a loan. So let's see. Next, how will you search? Uh, this is a big pet peeve that I've seen from a lot of folks. They do this thing where they go, I love using this site, or I like to search all the sites in the world. And then when I just see something, I send it to my realtor. Well, real estate agents, especially in this market, are working with a lot of buyers because you have to show a lot of homes to, kiss a lot of frogs to find a prince, right? Well, if you got to kiss a lot of frogs, you've got to look at a lot of homes. You got to make a lot of phone calls If we're looking at all these different websites because you're just sending all these things to get to some information, they may want that realtor to register, and then that realtor's getting a bunch of phone calls. You're not just inconveniencing that realtor, you're inconveniencing yourself because every moment they spend not working actually on your deal, they can't help you. Think about that. If a realtor's working with 10 people and they're trying to get everyone into homes, and you keep sending from homes from 10 different websites because you like searching all these websites instead of trying to consolidate it down to one, in particular, the website that the realtor may have given you. Some realtors don't have websites. I know that. If you're not consolidating it down and you're making a person's job super hard, unless they're working with just you or something because they're not doing that much business, then they may put you on the back burner. Now, if you're trying to find a home real quick and you're being put on the back burner, that may be hurting you. So where do you place yourself on that realtor's radar? So savvy realtor may stop working with you, really put you back. I've got an example of a woman who was working with a new realtor, and this is actually a true story. It happened a few weeks back, actually about a month and a half back, 2 months. And I knew the person they were just pumping the realtor for information. And it's like, you know what? Just go ahead and let them pump you for info because what they're doing is they're just going to go around your back and try to do a deal themselves or something, which is exactly what they did. But you don't want to put that thing out there for them. So uh, I know some people go like, I'm going to work with a realtor who finds me a deal. A realtor may be working with 10 folks. That the person may go, okay, fine. Uh, you can work with that realtor over there because I don't have time. I got 10 other people I'm working with. Next, uh, need to establish your home goals. It's best you do that before actually like wasting your time looking at homes. Just going like, oh, whatever, whatever just piques my interest. People do that, and what you're doing is like spending a lot of your time wasting about 10, 20, 30, 50 hours just looking around. Really sit down and narrow down the things like the price and be honest with yourself about what you want to spend. This, no, I can spend between X and Y, but I only want to spend Z amount and all this stuff. Really say what you want to spend because sometimes that little bit of $20,000 can put you into a whole different neighborhood of what you're going to get. Also, define things. Saying, I want a nice house means nothing because nice to you may mean different to what means nice to another person. To me, nice may mean quartz countertops. To you, nice may mean granite. Well, granite may have been 2 years ago where current nice is quartz. And I've gone on to quartz from granite. Nice to you, you came from the South and you still like wall to wall carpet. To me, nice may mean I don't want a speck of carpet in that house. Nice to you may mean the house is less than 5 years old, where to me, nice means less than 20 years old. You have to define nice. Then you also have to define nice for your price range. Going, I want a house with 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. And I want it to be single story. And I want it to be in Summerlin. And I want to spend under $300,000. And I need a pool. You have to be realistic. You also have to look for that 80% solution. You can't have everything in that home. You've got to make, what you doing now? You've got to make some sacrifices because the chances of finding that unicorn house, those are great, especially in the normal times. We are not in normal times. We've got a lot of people searching for homes right now and they're moving quickly. If there's a unicorn out there, there's 100 people lined up for that unicorn. Next, put your best self forward when you're making that offer. There is no try right now. In a normal market, you can try. Now, there is a place where you can try. And this is where I have my biggest success with people who are trying or need something. 60 days. 60 days. When a house has been on the market for 60 days, the seller is ticked off, the agent is ticked off, and if they have not made any price adjustments, sometimes they're ready to deal. So those are the ones you need to go after. Just sending your agent new homes that have just come on the market and you need things like closing costs and stuff like that, stop doing that. You're wasting your time. You see if they'll pay me closing costs. I'll tell you right now, in this market and in most markets, I don't care if it's uh, just a regular old market, you're not getting closing costs if a house came on the market this morning. It's just a waste. Okay. Now that I've gone through that, I want to go through the steps when you're purchasing a home. Okay. So now let's pretend we've gone through this and we found your perfect home. Where do we go from here? First thing, we're going to place that home in the escrow. So we got the contract back. Everyone's happy. We've bought this house for that nice $400,000. Hey, lucky you, you even got yourself a pool. So we're going to place that house in escrow. That is me taking that contract and sending it to the title company. Once that's done, that is now escrow. And steps in that is I'm also going to send all the information to your lender, and that starts up your lending process. So we do have to send it to lender. You can't put in a offer on a home unless you have a pre-approval or unless you're paying cash and you have your proof of funds and everything. I know people want to go, I'll put in an offer and then I'll go and find it. No one's going to accept your offer. Okay. Being straight with you. Now, here in the Nevada and most states west of the Mississippi, we are escrow states. I know for those of you who may be east of the Mississippi, those are what are known as lawyer states, except for states like Florida, which are, according to the county, either lawyer or escrow. Here we have we have lawyers, but everything is handled by escrow companies, which are owned by title companies. So if I say escrow or title or anyone else says that, they mean the same thing. So they're going to send you instructions to wire the EMD, earnest money deposit. That is the money to hold the house, and it needs to be wired, not exchanged, not anything else, wired. There's a $30 charge for wiring. Some people make the mistake where they see that they can transfer the funds and it's free, or wiring it's 30 and they go, oh, I'm going to save myself $30. Then they make the mistake and then they got to go through all the stuff. And then they got to get the money back and it causes a whole hullabaloo. Wire the money. Next, we're going to schedule the home inspection. Now, this is during what's known as due diligence. And usually have 7 to 10 days to do things like your inspection. You're not required to do an inspection, but it's usually highly recommended. Right now, a lot of sellers are going like, ha ha, I'm not doing anything. A lot of buyers are waiving inspection. Even if you waive repairs, still get the home inspection because you don't know if you're buying a pig in a poke. I remember one time we waived home inspection. We still did the home inspection, found a whole bunch of stuff. There was actually like a toilet upstairs had leaked. It had leaked, and I mean, it was like really, really bad. So bad that even though we had waived repairs, the seller fixed it. So even if you waive repairs, get that home inspection done. You can attend the home inspection if you want to, or you can skip it. They will send you a report. I recommend you attend it so that way the inspector can go over the things that they found. And you can request repairs for the seller. The seller has choices. They can say, okay, I'll fix this, that, or the other thing, or all of it. They can say, I ain't doing nothing. Or they can actually just throw some cash your way. If they throw enough cash, I actually recommend you taking the cash, getting the things fixed yourself, because here is what a seller is going to do. They are going to do the absolute minimum humanly possible, period, dot, end of story. And I really wish before I'd done this, I had printed out some pictures of agents sent me about a month ago about the home repairs that the seller agreed to. They were horrible. And that is actually quite normal. Just horrid what people will do. You know, fixing piping that needs to be done by just, putting duct tape over it. Just horrid stuff that people will do. And I've seen it from my end when I've had sellers where the sellers will go in and just put duct tape on like plumbing leaks. And it's like, what are you doing? Come on now. Next, uh, this is actually throughout the entire process. The underwriters, these are these unknowing, unseen folks like live in a cave or someplace, and they're going to be sending you a whole bunch of stuff over and over again, uh, asking for documents. Just because you got a pre approval doesn't mean too much. Underwriting has to get into the picture now, and they are the ones who actually make the final decision unless you got a pre-underwritten loan. I may do a video that goes deeper into underwriting and stuff like that. Also, the lender is going to order the appraisal. That is where an independent party goes out and establishes the value of the home. Okay. Uh, if you are living or purchasing a home that is in an HOA, the seller's agent is going to order the HOA resale package. This is where you get all the documents on the HOA, what the rules are, and you have 5 days to review it to decide if you like living in that HOA. So if you want to decide, they have crazy rules about how high your grass can be and all that stuff. Now, I know some people say, I don't like all this stuff. And then they say, I want to live in a nice neighborhood, but I don't want an HOA. Um, Good luck with that. Because without that, people usually have the cars on blocks in the yard if you don't have an HOA. So you get to choose. So about 70% of all homes in Las Vegas are in an HOA. Let's see here. Now, here's another big one. You want to go over your closing costs with both the lender and the realtor. Closing costs usually include the escrow fee, the title insurance. There are two title insurances, the lender title insurance and the buyer's title insurance. As the buyer, you're going to pay the lender's title insurance. The seller should pay your title insurance. There is an exception to that. If you purchase a new home, the new home builder will make you pay your own title insurance. There are lender fees, and they vary by lender. And there are things called prepaids, which include prepaid taxes, prepaid insurance, things like that. And your down payment, of course, based upon the loan product that you're using. Or if you're lucky enough and you have served, there is no down payment. And there's also another loan product where there is no down payment called the USDA loan, but we're not going to get too much into that. And of course, you will lock in at your interest rate at some point. You're going to get closing documents from the lender. You will review those and sign them. I have to warn you, you're going to get 2 or 3 sets of closing documents. They're going to change because uh, they're going to be kind of mushy and get a lot more solid as you get closer to closing. And like right before closing, you're going to finally get your final closing documents. And those are the ones that are going to be really solid. So don't worry about it. I've seen them off by thousands of dollars for the initial and then get really tight as you get closer to it. So the reason they do that is if they try to get like really accurate and then something's off, if it's $2,000 over and they get closer to it at the end, it's better because you're going like, oh, I'm not paying that extra money. But if they go like, oh, we got to come back for this, that, and the other thing, you get mad. So they'd rather go over, and that's why they do it. As we get closer, you want to do a final walkthrough that can be done up to 3 days out. It's put in the contract. Here's a tip I have for you. I don't know about in other states. Here in Nevada, I highly suggest it is done the morning prior to you going over to sign for your documents or right after you sign. And maybe I'll do another video and go deep into some things that I've seen and gone through with that. Basically, let's say you go 3 days prior, and they haven't moved out because they don't know. I've had deals fall apart the day of. Then no, the seller's like, I'm not moving until I know this thing is actually happening. You do it 3 days prior, and they're moving, they're packing boxes. Day of, signed and everything, and then you come back, you get your keys, and oh, I'm not leaving for another couple of days. You own the house, they're there. What are you going to do? Try to evict them? You want to try to make sure they're actually like leaving. There are like trucks outside putting their stuff in it, stuff like that. The entire purpose of the walkthrough is to like make sure the lights are working and stuff. Is to make sure they haven't done crazy stuff like take the Viking stove out and replace it with a 1972 olive green stove. You know what I mean? Uh, Here is an escrow state for those of you who come from back east, where everyone sits around a table and you're signing all the documents and pass them around. Here, you may never, ever meet the seller. The seller signs separately and you sign separately. It's so separate that you don't even have to show up in town. You can sign while you're in Tennessee, and you can move here and just move straight into your house. So it's really nice that way. The next thing is once everyone is signed, you have paid your closing costs and any down payments that you've done, and the lender has funded. The title company then releases your file to the county, and then they record it. Once it's recorded, see, this is the question they always ask: when do I get my keys? Here's when you get your keys: when it is recorded by the county, not a second prior. I have had people ask me over and over again, like, the answer's going to change. When do I get my keys? When it is recorded by the county, you can have your keys. When is it recorded by the county? When everyone has signed and all the money has been accounted for, it is released by the county and it is recorded. So generally, if you can have everything done by about 1 p.m., it should record that day. So if this happens on a Friday and the money is not wired and everything is accounted for by 1 p.m., if you had a U-Haul truck arriving on Saturday morning, it's not happening until Monday. If it's a holiday weekend, until Tuesday, because the county's not open on that holiday Monday. Got it? So just trying to make sure you got all of that. So those are the steps, things you need to think about when buying a home, and the actual quick steps. Once you've actually found that home, identified that home, and had your offer accepted. Now I'm going to look here and I see no one has left any comments. So if you have any comments on this, and if you have any questions whatsoever, leave those below. If you're thinking about it, go ahead and hit that subscribe. I apologize for the issues I had up front. I was trying to be all high techy here and change up and have some new overlays. Guess that created a few little issues. I hope to edit those out at the beginning. So those you see the replay, you won't get to see those faux pas, and I'll get those corrected for next time. Next week, we should have all of the official stats out, and I may or may not have a live stream next week. I'm going to have to decide if I want to do the official stats. When we get the official stats out, I like to make it a more full-blown presentation. And for the next live stream, I will probably go over the actual sales contract so people can see that and see what it's like when you actually go into contract. I hope this little series that I'm trying to add to the live streams, instead of just going over the news, helps you guys out. If not, I'll go back to doing the market and the news. Whatever is going to help you guys out, just please let me know. Leave a comment below. like this video. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you on board. I want to give all the information I can you guys every week. Enjoy this week. And looking one more time, there are no comments, and I'm going to end it this week. See you guys.